Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for your host, Chrystal Claire.
Time to shine your light. Shine it bright. They can't dim your light. Shine it day or night.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Chrystal Claire TV. Thank you so much for joining. Today I have an exciting guest for you who also happens to be one of my best friends, but his name is Justin Diamond. Now I have a bio to read to you. It says here that this African-American man was born in New York and currently residing in Tampa, Florida. Justin has been doing photography for about 6 years. It has been a source of income for him, and he has a wealth of knowledge for anyone who is looking to break into photography. So help me welcome Justin Diamond.
All right, welcome. Thank you for joining me.
Hey.
So we have here Mr. Justin T. Diamond. Welcome to the show.
Hey, what's going on, folks? How's everybody doing out there?
How are you feeling today? How are you feeling? I see your Christmas hat. Can you show us the Christmas hat that you got?
Oh, sure. Nice and fluffy, little Christmas hat. Boom, 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 boom. I can swing it back and forth.
Yes, Christmas spirit.
Mm-hmm.
What did you want Santa to bring you for Christmas?
That's a good question. A house. That's what I want.
A house. That's a big thing on your wish list. Were you naughty or nice to get that house?
I'd like to believe I'm nice most of the time. 90% of the time.
So tell us about your photography. So you're a photographer. Tell us about that.
Okay, sure. So photography is something I got into, I would say back in 2013 or 2014.
Okay.
I mean, I did have a slight interest in it when I was in school, when I was still in college, because I was a film and media studies major, sorry. And
which you stole from me, by the way. If y'all don't know, this is one of my best friends. We go back to college, and he stole my major. Yes. Don't think I forgot.
Big liar. Yours was a little bit different. Hunter's program was different than, the crown jewel of the CUNY system.
I'm like, hey, he's like, what do you want to do? Because we both went to 2 different colleges after the first college we went to. So he's like, okay, well, what's your major going to be? I'm like, I think I want to major in media. And he's like, I'm going to major in media too.
First of all, it didn't go like
Tell
that.
them the truth. How did it go?
Here's how the conversation went. For starters, we went to two different schools, as you said, but none of us never spoke about our major until about a year into our programs. So I asked you, hey, what are you even majoring in? Because you never told me what you was majoring in. And you was like, media studies. I was like, oh, well, I'm majoring in that too. And then you decided to call me a copier or whatever, like I'm biting off you. I'm like, nah. But media studies in your school and media studies in my school is 2 totally different things.
And we majored in different parts of the media. So
Right.
So you majored more in photography. I did not. I majored more in like journalism and things like that. So it was a little bit different. So
Right.
you started off your photography from majoring in media at your school, and then what happened?
Well, I was on my grind. I graduated, and then I ended up going to B&H on 34th Street in Manhattan. and I got my first camera. This was after finding a job after I almost said high school. This was after finding a job at college, which enabled me to get said money to purchase that camera. And yeah, and I mean, and the one thing just about me is that I've always admired the way just pictures can kind of encompass so many different things. As they say, a picture's worth 1,000 words. There's so many things you can tell by right. And there's so many things you can tell by looking at a picture. Like a person can look at a picture of themselves and someone else, and they'll get a flashback to that exact moment when that picture was taken. How they were feeling, what they were thinking. It's so many cool things. Like you can even remember what happened on that day, like as far as like things that happened before the picture, after the picture, how you got to the area where the picture was taken. It's just so cool, like how.
I didn't think of it that way.
Yeah, like as human beings, our minds are just like they're very unique things, and I've always loved the ways that pictures can kind of just bring out that moment or just preserve that moment forever.
Right. So do you take pictures of like what do you take pictures of? Is it like kids, of adults, of flowers? Like what do you take pictures of?
So far people as far as adults and nature as well.
Okay.
Yeah. One of the things I like doing is just photographing people who, aspire to be models. And I always like my shoots to be very artsy as well. I try not to use as Photoshop because I always believe that, you could look at a picture and instantly tell it's Photoshop. Usually, you see that on a lot of IG.
Photoshop.
Excuse me?
So you don't use Photoshop?
I've used it once or twice, but most of the time I don't like to use it. Just because I always feel like it's just unnatural. I always like, shooting in natural light, and just try to catch the beauty of the moment. Which if you look at a lot of my pictures, it's very little to no Photoshop at all. The only little Photoshop you might see is my my watermark. That's usually the only Photoshop, yeah.
So you do very naturalistic type photo shoots.
Right.
Okay.
What I currently use now is a Canon T3i, which is it's a bit of an old camera, and I'm looking to actually get a newer upgraded camera because it's my baby, but my baby getting old.
Baby getting old, gotta upgrade.
And that upgrade's coming soon. The house is coming first, but but definitely, I gotta upgrade soon.
Okay. So do you prefer indoor shoots or outdoor shoots?
Outdoor shoots, definitely. And the reason why I prefer outdoors is that it's so much easier to work with the light outdoors than indoors. Lighting has always been right. Lighting has been a struggle of mine as far as
I see clearly from your video right now, the lighting is a struggle.
Whatever.
I had to get at you. We do this all day, every day, guys.
Yep, can't stand her.
Can't stand to be there. It's okay though. Everybody love me. Everybody love me. Hey, everybody love me. Everybody. Okay, so you prefer outdoor shoots because of the lighting, more natural light, and so you would not do any indoor shoots. Are you against indoor shoots or?
Oh, I'm not against it. It's just that it's more of a preference. And it's usually because of lighting. I don't have any lighting equipment or backdrops. But I have done indoor shoots. I actually did a Christmas shoot a couple of years ago with 4 different lovely ladies. And
I was one of those ladies. Guys, you're gonna
I knew you was gonna say that.
Pictures. You're gonna see pictures of this like towards the end of the video. Of at least I think only one picture or so of our shoot that we did. But continue.
Right. And I mean, while I did like it, I was working with limited resources. Limited resources meaning I only had one light source and a white wall. So I had to make it work, and a lot of times in photography, you have to, make good with what you have.
Improvise.
Right. Now a goal of mine, which is the reason why I want the house, is to actually get some better equipment as far as photography goes, and also like get like nice backdrops as well, so that I can continue to do my hobby, at a place where I'm also comfortable at too, as well as still
So,
doing outdoor shoots.
so do you consider it a hobby, or do you consider it more of like a career choice, or how do you see photography?
Okay, well, I will say this. When I was in New York, because I've been in Florida for about 4 years now, it's not a career choice, but it was something where I also made some money on the side, which I still do down here, just not as much as I did in New York. But in New York, there was actually a point where I was actually without a job for about 5 or 6 months, and photography really, really helped me out, as far as making a lot of money. Because at the time where I was unemployed, I did so many shoots to the point where people were familiar with my work, and I was actually bringing in about $600 or $700 a week just off doing
That's
shoots. And
amazing.
right, and that was just me going out every day, having my business cards, giving them my business cards, letting them know, hey, this is what I do. You can check out my work on here. Let me know, if you want to shoot with me, and it really, really works.
Business cards. Speaking of business cards, how do you market? Is that something? Is that a tool that you use? Like, here's my business card. Like how, as a photographer, how do you market your work?
Okay, for one, you have to have people see your work. So my business cards are two-sided. One side shows a picture of a shoot that I've done, and then on the other side it would show links to my other work. I have a folio
Awesome.
website. I have a folio, an online portfolio, and then I also have work on both my Facebook and on my Instagram that shows off the work that I've done, in previous shoots.
Okay.
So a lot of times, certain people are looking for a certain type of photographer that encompasses their vision.
Hmm.
And so if their vision matches, what you're currently doing, they're going to, ask you, hey, what are your rates? Here's how we're going to get this done. Boom, 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 boom. So
Okay.
yeah, it's just, it's honestly, it's going to be a grind. I mean, and life in general is a grind. Um,
So, what would you consider your style of photography? So, if someone came to you and said, "Hey, I need a photographer for this," so like if they came to you for like a wedding or a bar mitzvah or something, like, do you have a niche that you would be like, "Okay, I don't do these type of shoots," or will you be open to anything? Like, what's your niche?
to be honest, I'm open to everything. Just because, yeah, I know I'm good at shooting stuff in natural light, but to be honest, I've never done a wedding, and I will actually like to do a wedding just so I can see how things will come out. And I
Hmm.
mean, in particular with weddings, you're just, shooting people having fun. As long as you got that
Hmm.
battery in that memory, you're good because you're just, getting
Sure.
people together, shooting them, basically getting the person that's becoming a man, or if it's a bar
Right.
mitzvah, becoming a woman,
Right.
and just doing what you got to do.
Right. So that makes sense. So, what advice do you have to give to photographers that are on the come up? So now I want to be a photographer. What steps do you think I should take?
Oh, okay. For one, decide what kind of photography that you want to do, but never be afraid of going outside your comfort zone. Also, invest in a good camera, invest in a good computer as well, because everything is digital. You don't want to have a completely digital camera and then you're not able to see the pictures that you just shot, in bigger resolution. You can see it on the camera, but when it comes to pulling it up on your computer, you need to be able to, see that, see if there's any mistakes. Because there's been times where I thought I shot the most amazing picture, and then I'll see somebody, in the background, with their arms out, like, "Hey."
In the background.
hmm
I didn't think about that. Yeah.
So, um, but yeah, but also that's another reason why Photoshop is a good thing to have as well, because Photoshop, you can literally just take one piece of the background, put it over that person, and then poof, they're out.
That is true. That is true.
hmm
So do you have to be, well, would you say that you would have to be skilled at Photoshop to be a photographer?
No. to be a good photographer, it's really all about what you're shooting and how you're shooting it.
Okay.
And when I say that, sometimes you shooting at somebody at one angle, they may look kind of funny, but then shooting at a different angle, they may look okay. Okay, I'm gonna explain this in a better way. Say you might, shoot a model at one angle, and she might look like a 2, just because of the angle of the shot. Because honestly, everybody has good sides and bad sides.
Myself included. Trying to put my hair on my good side right now.
There you go. But, say if, you shoot somebody, in another angle that, can highlight some of their better features, that 2 might end up being a damn 20.
That's true. But with Photoshop, anybody could be a 20.
Yeah. I've seen some magic with Photoshop, believe me. And when I say that, I literally seen somebody, this girl was pretty big. Like, when I mean big, probably about 180 pounds, and they were actually able to slim her down and give her a nice plump behind. And she must have looked like maybe about 120.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's a big difference.
Yeah. If I find the video, I can send it to you. It's definitely it's something to see.
Photoshop. The world we live in. You don't know what anybody looks like anymore.
Yeah, you really don't. And I mean, these Instagram filters make it worse. Everybody
my God.
Getting rid of all these
Filters
images.
in
Yep.
Nobody ever looks like they say they look actually in person after the filter, after the Photoshop, after everything. Okay, so with the new cameras that we have, like iPhone cameras, a lot of these cameras are 4K and things like that. Do you think that using a regular cell phone camera would be equivalent to using a regular professional camera with the cameras that we have nowadays?
Yes and no. And the reason why I say yes is because, yes, cell phone cameras have become so advanced that they could be used professionally, but there are limitations on cell phone cameras, one of them being the battery life, and the other one being is the distance in which you can shoot. With the new iPhone 11 Pro, has three different cameras which can produce, sorry, I got something in my eye, which can produce.
You got coal in your eye.
Oh my God.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
All right, so basically, the 3 different lenses can go 3 different distances on the camera, and the cool thing about the iPhone is that it switches between those 3 seamlessly. But your distance is kind of limited because on that type of camera, the further you go as far as distance, the lower your resolution. So,
okay.
Right. So say if you were maybe about 50 feet away from me and I tried to zoom in, I would say 100 feet. That's probably a better thing. If you're 100 feet away from me and I would try to zoom in on you, I would lose the resolution on a cell phone camera. Whereas with
I didn't know that.
Right. Whereas a digital camera, you can always buy different lenses. And I actually have a 300 times magnifying lens, which so say it's basically 300 times the distance from which I'm standing. So say if you decided to run out into a beach and whatnot, and you just wanted to have a picture of the wave right before it hit your face, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I can take that picture with that 300 times lens, and I would still keep that resolution because that's what that lens is designed for. And then it also stabilizes the image.
Makes sense.
Right. Because
did you? No, go ahead.
I was going to say, because the thing is, when you have these cameras that have these, the professional cameras that have the zoom, is very prone to shaking because, we're all human. And I can keep my hands like this, but the slightest jerk will make the camera bounce up and down. So cameras have a built-in stabilizer so that even if it does, do that, as long as you have that, your subject in there in that little square, you're good.
Yeah.
It's always going to come in focus.
Ah, okay. So you don't need a tripod or anything. You can have a handheld camera and just stabilize it.
You could. I mean, it's a tripod is preferred, But if your hands are steady enough, you could still do it.
Okay. There was something else I was going to ask you. I completely forgot. My mind's all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But so what other questions can I ask? All right, so what are your handles? Where can people find you? Facebook, Instagram. Put everything out there for everyone.
Okay, so on Facebook, Justin T. Diamond Photography, and also on Instagram.
You're gonna have to spell this out. People cannot spell. No offense, but some people cannot spell. Please spell this out.
Okay, JUSTIN, capital T, Diamond, DIAMOND, photography, and as soon as you put in the P after the diamond, you'll see photography.
Okay, and that's for Instagram?
It's for Instagram and Facebook.
Instagram and Facebook. Okay.
Yes.
Do you have a website or any other social media outlets that we should know about?
Yes, I also have my online portfolio at Folio HD. It's it's Justin T. Diamond Photography once again .foliohd.com.
Folio HD, spell that?
FOLIO, capital H, capital D.
Okay. Got it.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone, definitely make sure to follow Justin Diamond Photography. He put all his handles there. I'll also put a link to that in the description so that you guys also have that as well. Is there anything else that you would like to add and tell anyone? What advice do you have for maybe an upcoming photographer, someone who aspires to be a photographer? What advice do you have?
Just to never stop grinding. Always try to, learn as much as you can. Learn, as much about photography as you can. Don't be afraid to network, and most of all, just have fun. Be yourself. Like, don't act like you're, a world famous photographer. Just be yourself.
Okay, sounds good. Well, thank you so much for joining our beautiful family here at Chrystal Claire TV. Thank you so much for coming through, sharing your knowledge of photography with us all here. And thank you for being a duty face as usual. Joking, kidding.
Okay.
But yes.
Cracker.
Anyway, but yeah, anything else you want to share? Anything you want to add?
Good question. Very good question. Honestly, to anybody out there that's aspiring to do anything, even if it's not photography, don't give up on your dreams. Keep doing your thing, and always stay positive.
Okay, sounds good to me.
Any viewers out there, don't be afraid to take chances. As Chrystal knows, when I was living in New York, job-wise, I was very, very.
Oh yeah.
Being a college graduate, I was not getting a lot of good work as far as a good stable income, and I basically came out to Florida for a better chance at just making a better life for myself. And about just over 4 years ago, actually, it was 4 years on November 23rd when I came down here, and literally I haven't looked back ever since. And just to put things in perspective, in New York, I never even made enough money to own a car. I was able to buy a car in my first month down here.
Wow.
I was struggling to pay my student loans. Paid those loans off after my third year down here. Or actually, no.
Awesome.
Actually, after my second year down here, I was able to pay off my student loans.
Wow.
So, yeah, don't ever be afraid of taking chances in life, because you never know where you're going to end up. That's just coming from the heart. You don't know what's going to happen until you do it, and don't try to put an age limit on anything. Just I hate to be a little bit cliche, but it's like Nike. You just got to do it.
Just do it. All right. Thank you so much for sharing that. Okay, so I think that wraps it up. We did the
Here is some of Justin T. Diamond's photography. It's me. And me again.
Thank you guys so much for watching. So if you are interested in photography, definitely follow this person. I am going to put all of his handles right there in the description box, so you'll be able to follow him and figure out, how he does it. If you want to book him for a session, he is in Tampa, Florida. I'm sure that he also does travel. You guys can negotiate prices and things like that. Just, reach out to him. And I'm sure he can work something out with you. If you have any additional questions, definitely put them in the comment section below. Any other questions, any comments, definitely leave that in the comment section as well. Merry Christmas from my family to yours. Hope you guys have a happy holiday. Definitely let me know what you guys are doing for the holiday season in the comments below. Me and Lola, we would love to know. Lola, stop eating.
Time to shine your light.